Welcome back. It began as a way for people to safely socialize and get exercise all in the middle of a pandemic. But the city's newest bike club soon found itself gearing up for something a whole lot bigger, riding headfirst into the social justice movement of 2020. Well, today we're taking you for a ride with the Good Company Bike Club.
Good Co Bike Club, can I get a yeah?
It's the rallying cry of a revolution. A revolution on two wheels that can be seen and usually heard rolling down city streets 3 times a week.
Thinking about the amount of fun that we had, it was like, you know what, it was Good Company, so Good Company Bike Club. It's beautiful because it's one of the most organic things I've been a part of.
What is it about the act of biking that you've enjoyed?
It kind of reminds me of being a kid. It's just freeing.
Turns out, in the middle of a pandemic-induced lockdown, freedom was in short supply. So one day, Andrew Bennett put a post on his Instagram asking if anyone wanted to join for a Sunday ride. 17 people showed up.
It was really just getting people together to safely socially distance, and the best way to do that was on a bike.
But this is where the story takes another turn. That first ride was May 24th. Just one day before the birth of a new social justice movement and the death of George Floyd.
That had to change things.
Right, so then you started seeing a lot more protest rides popping up.
These are images from just a few weeks after that first ride. It was Juneteenth, a holiday marking the end of slavery, and 1,500 people showed up.
I never wanted this to be a protest group just because being a man of color, being alive every day is kind of my protest, you know?
But that doesn't mean they aren't riding for a cause. Quite the opposite, in fact.
When you Google the word cyclist, for the first few pages, all you see is like older white men. But I'm really trying to change the face of cycling and let people know that, you know, we bike too.
Cycling in New York City can be frustrating for anyone.
There's definitely a lot of road rage in New York. You see that for sure.
But even more so if your skin is a darker shade.
Definitely in a lot of communities of color, you don't see a lot of bike lanes. There aren't as many bike shops.
And as anyone who uses City Bike knows, the further you get from Manhattan, the harder it is to find a bike for rent.
And then cycling isn't accessible for, you know, little kids who want to learn how to ride a bike. If there's no bikes, how are you going to learn?
Bennett plans each route to draw attention to these problems.
We're going to move out in like the next 5 minutes, all right? Get on your bike, get on your bike.
And he never follows the same path twice.
We're going to pause after Manhattan Bridge, regroup. We're going to take the FDR down to the ferry.
On this particular Sunday, they met outside the Brooklyn Museum, pedaled over the Manhattan Bridge, then made their first ever trip to Staten Island, a borough without a single city bike station. But no matter where they go, they always end up at a black-owned business.
It's been tough. It's been a real change.
Karan Manjan, co-owner of Staten Island's Craft House, can't remember the last time he had 100 people at the brewery.
It's been a while. It's been since Corona started, we haven't had this at all. This feels amazing to see this many people just coming down and showing love, and especially people that aren't from Staten Island.
Riding for a cause, plus getting exercise, plus meeting people as a transplant, it was like 3 in 1.
Make me feel proud, you know?
Makes me feel seen.
And that's not always...
Oh, absolutely not. I don't always feel seen or heard, especially as a black woman.
It was a lot of stress, you know, from work to, you know, being a black man in New York. And with the George Floyd thing happening during the pandemic, it was a lot. It was challenging, you know, and I just wanted to find a way to get outside the house, and I was able to find a family in the process, you know, a second family at that.
You really have found a second family?
Yep, this is my brother. Yes. For life.
We have each other's backs, and when everything else around us is feeling like bleak and like nothing is going to go well, we can get up in the morning and ride with Good Co, and all is well.
And I'm glad that we can be a movement for black and brown people to cycle. And every time you get on bikes, people think we're protesting, but we're really just celebrating life.
Yeah, that was a fun day. Andrew Bennett has turned it into his own black-owned business. It's now an official LLC. Now, the group typically rides Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. For membership info, check out Good Co Bike Club on Instagram. A big thanks to them for having us.